Hey there, Wendy here with Jazzydoodledesigns, and today I thought we would take a look at what I colored in December. And if you watched my coloring plans, yeah, I took on the whole world, but I think I did pretty well. I did 10 separate full pages, but I also did an advent calendar and created a video every single day with a full little color along. So I think I've done pretty well. So let's get started. All right, first up is Fantasia. I finally broke the spell, and with a little prodding from my friend, dove into this book, and I'm sure glad I did. I did this page, and I really like how this one turned out. I'll give it a little, so you can see the wings there, and then down here at the bottom is a little bit of glitter here on the leaves. Hopefully you can see that. Glitter so hard. So what I used here was I used iridescent medium on her wings, and it just gives a nice subtle soft shimmer. Now this is much like a Winkostella or a Nouveau Shimmer would do. I used Prismacolor pencils to actually do the work, and then down here at the bottom I had some, I believe it was Nouveau Shimmer, and it was in Midas Gold. And what I did was I took a palette and I put it on there, and then I picked it up with a paintbrush, because when I tried to brush it on, it was just too much. And I wanted it to be very subtle. I didn't want it to take over the page, but I really like how she turned out. So this won't be the last page I do in this beautiful book. Okay. Next is Birds in the Forest. Now, I got the Arteza Twi markers, and I really wanted to try them out. They're a water-based marker, much like a Tombow, and so I wanted to use them kind of like a watercolor, and I really love the soft watercolor effect that I got with this page. And then I used some, oh, I still have it right here, this Deco Art Holographic Illusion, and I just painted that glitter on just here. Then on the little hats, so you can see, on the little hats I used Ohuhu. I have all of this stuff still on my desk. I used these Ohuhu glitter markers. Now, I will note that none of the glitter markers went through. I did get a little bleed through with these water-based markers, but because it was a one-sided book, I really wasn't being cautious at all, and I liked the really soft effect I got with adding a lot of water. And so don't hold it against the markers about that. I will definitely try these where I am being more careful about it and see if it is something that you can use without bleed through, because I didn't get it everywhere. I just got it where I was more aggressive in my color, or, you know, multiple layers, like here where I put several different color layers down to get a little bit of a shadow effect. And if you let those layers dry in between, you usually don't get that. And I wasn't doing that because, like I said, I wasn't worried about because it was one-sided paper. But I had a lot of fun using those markers, and I really like how this page turned out. This book is so stinking cute. Okay, next up is A Million Christmas Cats. Now, if you watch my channel on the regular, you'll know I don't use a ton of bling. But when it comes to Christmas, you just have to do the things. So this page is no exception. These cute little cats, I used pan pastel in the background. Then I used Prismacolor pencils. I used Ohuhu markers like these. I used the Smoother Pro. Where did I use that? Just on a couple of ornaments up here. And then I used some chunky glitter, just regular chunky glitter. And I used my own glue and just glued it down because I really wanted just gobs of glitter. Have you ever seen those, I don't know, the decorations that just have the big blobs of chunky glitter? And I just thought it'd be kind of fun. And I added a little of that down here. And then in the end, I felt like I didn't, it just didn't look right with not having more glitter on it. So I used some stickles in Ice Crystal. Anything else? I'm not sure. I think that's pretty much it. But I'll move the page around so you can see all the shiny bits, because there's lots of shiny bits. This was a buddy color with my good friend Christine, and I will flash hers up right now. She did a beautiful job on hers. I really love the greens and how it turned out. So thank you for always coloring with me, Miss Christine. Okay, next up is a whip that I had from last year. I started working on this with my mom, and then she got sick and was in the hospital, and we just kind of put it off. And then this year, about the same time, she ended up getting sick, and she just got out of the hospital yesterday. So I just went ahead and finished this page, and we'll probably start another one in the future. To be fair, my mom colors to do something with me. She would much rather read or do some of the other. She likes to digital color, and you know, as you get older, sometimes it's always just a little bit harder to dig out all the things and do stuff. So I totally get it. But I like how this page turned out. I don't think there's a bit of glitter in this one. Everything that I did was with, I'm going to call it mixed pencils, because I'm not sure what pencils I started out with, and I'm not even really sure what pencils I finished with. So it's probably just a mix of whatever was on the table when I finished it. So, but I really like how this turned out. Okay, next up is Mikiko Inatomi's Seasonal Wreaths of Plants and Friends. Tonya Colors and I are doing a joint Instagram and YouTube project in this book. This book is broke down into 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. And we are just entering our newest quarter, which is the winter pages. And so we always do a buddy color to kick things off. And so we did one on this page. Let me zoom in just a little. I had a blast doing these. I used my Holbein pencils and a Posca pen, and that is it. I opted not to do any sort of background on this, but I absolutely love how this page turned out. It's just such a stinking cute book, but I used a very limited color palette, and I am enamored with it. So I hope you are too. But if you'd like to join us, I will flash up on the screen when I edit the hashtag, but it's just Mikiko's Winter Wreaths, and then you can color any of these winter pages for the color along. And then tag us, and I will do a video on YouTube, which you should be seeing soon, because I need to do the end of the fall one. And then Tonya Tonya does some stuff with it on Instagram. So check it out for sure. And I will pop up hers. Hers is also a limited palette. And don't you just adore how great the Santa looks in green? I mean, her colors are fantastic. I really like how it turned out. And thank you for always being my buddy in this joint project. Okay, next up is Teresa Goodrich's Christmas Gnomes. I love me some gnomes, so I'm always coloring the gnomes. But this one was a little different. I used the ZCSM Direct Liquid Acrylic Markers, and I colored the entire thing just using that. I may have used, I don't even think I used any Posca or anything else. It was 100% in those pens. They're a very nice pen. I have a review, I believe, on the channel. They're very much like these Arctics acrylic pens, but you get more of them and they come in a case, and I find that it's a really nice mix having both sets. But I really like that you get a little bit of streaking with them, but nothing that you couldn't smooth over with a colored pencil. But this was a very quick page, and I had a lot of fun doing it. Is it my favorite? It's not my favorite because these are not generally colors that I enjoy together. You know, I lean towards more olivey greens and things like that, but so it's a little punchy for me. But I did have a lot of fun coloring it, and that's the whole point of this, right? So anyway, there's that. Okay, next up is Nunar Therapy. I did this little guy. I absolutely love this book. It's by Diane Dufour. And I used Ohuhu glitter pens, the ones I showed you, Prismacolor pencils, and a little bit of this gold. I'll show it to you. See how it's kind of shimmery in the background, but subtly shimmery? That is Pan Pastel, I think it's called light gold or something like that. But this is where having a coloring friend is fantastic, because I hadn't colored the background and I wasn't sure I was going to. And I reached out to my friend Christine and I was like, what do you think? And she's like, you need to add gold. And I'm like, what? Like, no, why would you do that? And she's like, no, I think it'd look good. So I took her advice and I did the Pan Pastel and gold, and I absolutely love how it warmed up this page and went so well with our cooler blues, and then the fun little blings of glitter up at the top. I really like how this turned out. Now, the one thing I will say is that I wasn't real careful, and some of those glitter pens did kind of pop through. They didn't do a full bleed through, but they definitely got a lot of ghosting. There's a couple of baby dots of actual bleed through. I am not one iota worried about that. We can cover that up with another medium, and it will just add a bit of challenge in our life, which sometimes you need a little challenge, right? But I had so much fun, I wouldn't change a thing. So, okay, two more. Let's back you out just a little. This one is Patt Pupe. It is Hachette Heroes. I adore this book as well. I am all about the cute. Okay, so I just finished this one up. I used Copic Acrea water-based opaque markers, which there should be a review on the channel. I'm not sure which of these will go up sooner, so it'll either be already on the channel or coming soon. But I used those pens and then Polychromos colored pencil and a little bit of white Posca pen here. But you'll have to watch my review and see what my thoughts are about them, because I had some thoughts. But overall, I'm pleased with the final result. I may go back in and add a little bit of a design to her pockets, and I just realized I didn't color the buttons. Have you ever done that? Like, actually forgot to color something? Oops. For people that are familiar with my channel, this will come as no shock to you. Usually during a color along, I always miss an arm or something and have to go back later. But I always catch it, so that's kind of odd. All right, last up was the project that I really wasn't expecting to do. I talked a little bit about working in this book, and then Christine said she was going to do this advent calendar. I'm going to back you out just a little so you can see both pages. Turn the light a little. So what I did was I went, oh, that'd be fantastic. This was on December 1st that we talked. And I went, I want to do that. So on December 1st, I decided to do a color along on each one of these on the channel. Nothing like adding 25 videos to your month unexpectedly. But I had a very enjoyable time doing it. They were about 10 to 20 minutes each. And so it was just a little pop in. It took me way longer to do the video, to edit it and thumbnails and all of that than it did to actually color it. But I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to zoom in on this page. I like the color palette that I did. I used Prismacolor pencils and then a little Signo ball pen for the gold here. And I did little pops of gold here and there, all at the very end. The first one, if you were to decide you wanted to do this page with me, the first one is set to music because, like I said, I decided on December 1st to do this. All of the rest are narrated with how I'm doing it, why I'm doing it, and my thoughts. So I will try and get a copy of Christine's and pop hers up in the corner here for both of these, because I figured while I was doing this one, hey, why not just color the things at the same time? So I did this page in conjunction with it. So using the same colors that I used on this side, I used over here, and I really like how it turned out. And once again, I'll pop Christine's up, and I really appreciate her coloring with me and being an inspiration and always just being able to chat about all of the coloring things. I absolutely love that about my channel. It's how I met her. It's how I met you. I would love to know you, so feel free to reach out to me. And I think that's everything for this month. I am going to do a 2024 completed, like all the pages that I've completed in 2024. So watch for that video in the first week of January. Until next time, happy coloring. Thank you for watching another video from Jazzydoodledesigns. If you enjoy adult coloring content, please consider subscribing. You can now find me on Instagram and Facebook as well. I welcome all comments and suggestions. Don't forget to like the video before you go. And until next time, take care.